Well, surprise, surprise, yes, we've grabbed the lure rod and we are out here fishing for perch again. The last couple of months have been crazy on the perch. I've been fishing the drop shot a lot. I sort of found them in an area, and for about 2 or 3 weeks I got totally preoccupied with picking off tons of perch on the drop shot. Just so effective, particularly the Slick Finesse in Wakazaki. That is the colour, and I'll be using it again today. Okay, that's a better one. And that's how you do it on the drop shot. Look, bit of finesse, lovely times. Okay, I think I lost it and then hooked it again. Happy with that. I've been in 10 minutes and I've had 5. Okay, literally hardly moving it. That Slick Finesse again. Go on. There you go. Absolutely killer on the drop shot. It's been over the last couple of weeks, but putting that to one side, I've managed to break away from that area now and I'm going on the hunt. This video can't be much more different from the last one that I did a couple of months back, where we were just trying to get some action, just trying to get lots of bites, didn't really care about the size of the fish. Well, the temperatures are starting to cool. It's that time of year where the fish are starting to group up and we're searching for a big one. So I'm moving around the river using search lures. The lures that I like to use for searching, or that I'm going to mainly be using, are the slick shads. That has been so good for me, especially green pumpkin is the colour. But as I said on the intro, I've been doing really well on that Wakazaki colour. It's just such a beautifully natural colour, and it's caught me too many fish on the drop shot to ignore it. So I will be using a slick shad in Wakazaki as well. Both of those I'll be using in 7cm. I'm switching up the jig head between 3 gram and 5 gram. Now it's not very deep here, so 5 gram does sound like a lot of weight. Having said that, sometimes I want to fish fast and low, and if you go too light with the jig head, it comes up in the water. So yeah, starting off with the slick shads, ever faithful, and just keep moving. Thing is to try and fish those deep holes. In terms of location, always around structure. In these little tributaries, there's loads of that. So generally it's only a couple of foot along here. Then every now and then it's dropping to about 5 foot or so in certain spots. And obviously I'm exploring those. Sometimes switching to a little Ned rig in those spots just to pick those apart slightly rather than skirting over them with the shad, you know. Conditions are actually pretty good, you know. The temperatures have dropped recently, and we've had a bit of rain, first rain for a while. Certainly it feels like if we do struggle, we can't blame it on the conditions today, which is a bit unfortunate. There we go. And that is a decent one. Shows where there's bream, there's sometimes perch. There we go. Lovely. There we are, lovely condition perch, that one. Caught on a little slick shad, 7cm slick shad. Been such a good lure for me, that one. And there we are, that's what we've had it on. 7cm slick shad, green pumpkin, and you can see a tiny jig head. We're struggling to get bites on a larger shad with a larger hook. You see I've got a tiny hook as well. You might say too small for the lure. But scaling down when you're struggling is a classic way to get a bite. And it worked. So we are on the move. What was interesting about that fish, it was with a load of bream, and I can't remember who said it to me, but it has stood me in good stead sometimes, that if you find the bream, you'll find the perch. And certainly that was the case there. There was a big shoal of bream. In that swim, I was able to work the lure amongst them, and yeah, the perch were there. Something went for it there. What was that? Something went for it there. Looked a bit pikey. There it is. Oh, thought it was. Oof. There you go. Thought it looked a bit like a pike. So I've decided to go very light today. I know I'm going to have to cover a lot of river, so I've gone really quite minimal on the kit that I brought with me. I've just got one small bag, and what's really cool about this bag is literally swivel it round, put it on my front, get into it. I should also say I'm using these tiny boxes, so I've scaled everything down. Smallest box, just to keep a few lures in. I've got a couple of those in there. And yeah, just scaled everything right down to the bare minimum, because that just makes things a lot more pleasant when you're actually walking the distances that sometimes are needed to try and find these better fish. There you go. Ah, off. That was a perch. F***ing wind. They seem to sit up there. Ah, that's another lost fish. That's annoying. The key really is, I feel, to keep moving. Just keep moving. I've found that here there's no particular holding spot. You've just got to try and land on one. And the only way to do that is keep your feet moving, keep going from swim to swim, working your way along the river, and just hopefully you run into one. Come on, you perch, where are you? Doesn't hold many perch this stretch. It's never been prolific. But to be honest, I come in for the Solitude. I'm right out in the fields, in the middle of nowhere. Don't think I've ever seen another angler down here. It's not always about the fish. Obviously there is the odd nice one. But these days, I would rather sacrifice fish for a bit of peace and quiet. So it does feel like we've not really hit that really cold period. So I do feel like I can move these shads fairly quickly through the water, which is handy because in late autumn, the bottom seems to be paved with leaves, which is a nightmare. And I would rather fish these lures over the top of that. Experimenting with the jig head. If the water's quite deep, I can put a heavier jig head on. When I say heavy for a little stream like this, 3 grams, fairly heavy. And I'm mainly using those, stepping up to 5 if I'm wanting to pin it to the deck, if I put a little Ned rig on or something like that. But generally, 3 gram jig heads, occasionally dropping to even 1 and 2. I'm slightly thicker with the leader today, which might be a mistake. I might have to go back down to 6 pound. Stepped it up to 9. I was a bit worried about the overgrowth through this section, but I think it might be costing me bites. I thought I'd get away with it because we had a load of rain and the water's quite coloured. But now I am wondering. Surely a hole like that in such a shallow section has got a whole fish. I don't know why, but I've just got a feeling there's a fish in this area. Much deeper down to my right here. There we go. Lovely. Oh, just got smashed by another one as well. There's 2 in it. Brilliant. So I visited quite a few swims and eventually I found some. First off, I lost one, literally. I saw it hook pull, saw it was a decent fish. I had this smaller one, and then straight away I left that in the net and had this one. Couldn't get any more, so yeah, switched the camera on to show you guys. Get another. We've just had 2 fish on the bounce. I didn't get the second one, didn't manage to record the second one. Came flying out and absolutely mullered it. There we are, matching the hatch, gone with a Wagasaki sort of natural colour. That was very cool, happy with that. Lovely brace of perch. It was weird, I lost a fish and then I had those 2. And then I had another one actually. So I obviously, after hitting dozens and dozens of swims with absolutely nothing, just landed on a pod of them. picked off most of the ones I think that were in that little shoal. And now I'm on my toes again, as you can see. Just trying to find the next likely looking spot. Huh. There are some perch. Is there a better one over there? It's worth saying that I have got Ned baits, so little stick baits and little buoyant creature baits. So if the slick shads either aren't working or I found some fish and I want to slow things down, I will probably switch to little Ned rigs. See how much slower I'm fishing now. Much slower. I'm going to fish a Ned rig down by that tree to my right. Much slower. Sort of fishing very much more intentionally. Not just flinging it around. We're starting to get into dusk now, the last sort of half hour or so. So I am hopeful, but yeah, I've had to get on my toe. This stretch is a little bit patchy, it seems. But the thing is, we're not after lots of perch. We're just after that one big one. Does though feel like we're coming into prime time now. Always love fishing at dusk. So hopefully we can nab just one or two more. There you go. Here's a perch. Lovely job. Lift him out. Lovely. Cracking. I actually put a Ned rig on now. A Ned rig, just in case I found them, and now I just need to sort of pluck them off. Oh, that is a good one. Don't you come off. We've got one of the better ones. There we go. Oh. Oh. These are very good. Oh, superb. That is fantastic. And this is why, if you get small fish like this, carry on fishing, because look, check this out, the next cast. Look at that. What a fish that is. Incredible. Definitely 45 centimetres at least. Absolute unit. Put a Ned rig in there and this beast absolutely smashed it. How about that? Absolutely incredible. Weighed that fish, it was bang on 4 pound. So a 4 pounder, what an incredible, incredible fish. So there we are, what an incredible fish to end on. Absolutely over the moon with that, an incredible perch. He's quite tricky along here. There's not an awful lot of fish, or I think there isn't. It might be that I'm just rubbish, but I like to think it's just a bit patchy. What I've done is I've kept my lure selection really simple, as you've seen. Mainly slick shad, little creature baits. Was using little spiky shads. I was using some shads that have got a slightly deeper body. And yeah, if you can take anything away from this, that Wakazaki, get on that 100%. Definitely the good times are to come. We've started to have a bit of rain now. The rivers are looking a lot better. The temperatures are dropping. The fish are starting to group up. And it feels like it's time to get out there.